You've heard of incels and you've heard of simps, but what on earth is a sink?
Single, independent, no kids.
Otherwise known as single income no kids. Millennial women who mindlessly absorbed the social engineering that they could have it all. A high-flying career, luxury living, an endless, exciting, carefree sexual encounters. Marriage, children, yeah, maybe at some point. A whole generation of them grew up thinking this was their future. Turns out society lied to women, and it was all bullshit. Whoops, that thrilling, dynamic, aspirational lifestyle actually meant being a wagey drone trapped in a wage cage, living alone in a shoebox apartment, eating meals for one every night, downing bottles of wine in front of Netflix, while the friends you used to go out with have all moved on and started families.
Many women in their 30s living alone are living a different life to everyone else, and I'm going to tell you why.
Not so much sex in the city, more sink in the city.
We've got no one to go out with. We're waiting for everyone's kids to get old enough so that our friends can go out again.
I mean, at what age should your life stop revolving around going out and getting drunk?
Because we couldn't afford to rent or to own where we knew people on a single income.
Maybe if you committed to being in a relationship with a man before all the decent ones were taken, you wouldn't be single income and you'd be able to pay for shit.
Come give me a tune. What you put my
Sink! Rest of her videos are about how she can't find a boyfriend. Sinks are basically female incels, but the level of sheer cope on display is way higher. Incels have largely accepted their fate. Sinks act like it's a fate that they chose.
I smoke, I drink, I fuck bitches, I skate. I'm basically the shit.
Oh, you're a degenerate then, congratulations.
I think Sex and the City changed us. I can remember really distinctly in my mid to late 20s just commenting to my boyfriend at the time that I really aspired to live like Carrie. I'm a writer, and the idea of like having my own apartment and affording that kind of fashion and that lifestyle, I was like, oh, that's what I dream of. And he was kind of like, where do I fit in? And I was like, oh, you don't.
Sink!
And now I live like Carrie.
Girl boss so happy and empowered she's home alone daytime drinking.
And now I live like Carrie. And now I live like Carrie.
Yeah, you might die alone with absolutely no one around who cares about you.
Because what you consider a lie, we consider freedom of choice.
The right to choose which brand of tissue you use to wipe away the tears. Did you crack open that second bottle of Chardonnay and watch Love Actually for the 14th time?
And now I live like Carrie.
And for the first time in history, women have the right to choose whether they want a family or a career or neither.
Apparently, until very recently, women didn't have the right to work. Who knew?
Going to a film house alone is peak elder millennial sink, where I can be my true sink self with my Sinky Film House coffee sinktastic reclining chair and the cleanest, sinkiest crumb-free carpet.
Sink. If a dude in his 30s goes to see a movie alone, he's probably a creepy incel. If a woman in her 30s does the same, she's doing a feminism.
This shit made me feel alive.
Sink!
Feel like we in paradise.
Travel. Share all those fun, interesting experiences with precisely no one. Apparently family holidays don't exist either.
Tell me you're living that single income, no kids life as a millennial, but don't tell me you're living that single income, no kids life as a millennial.
Is it getting drunk on your own?
I'll go first. My vacation plans consist of trying a new cocktail every single day of my vacation, which means I had to buy a bunch of alcohol. So, yeah. Anyone want to come over and try a new drink with me?
No thanks. There's more quality sinkage to come, but first a word from the sponsor of this video. I'm not normally into graphic novels, but I've been reading 10 questions for James over the Christmas period. Boom! It surprised me pretty quickly and it became a real page turner. It's over 500 pages in length, but I completed it in about 3 sittings. James' Waters' plan for the evening was simple: get drunk. But the angel had other ideas. He offered James the answers to any 10 questions of his fancy. The nature of God, the universe, or hell, even JFK's true assassin, it was all for the asking. But then the demon threw him a hard curve by telling him someone in the bar was going to die at 12:21. The author of this book has an accomplished background in computer sciences and artificial intelligence, so it's written as an explanation and defense of the Christian faith, geared towards appealing to those of an intellectual, analytical mentality, as well as the open-minded agnostic who is searching for a more reasonable approach to Christianity. This isn't some cringe sermon or dreary offering. The book sinks its teeth into the Nephilim and the giants mentioned in the Bible, the biblical documentation of time travel, creation versus evolution, as well as the reality behind Roswell, UFOs and aliens, and how man is trying to replace God with transhumanism. It's not about browbeating you with religious tracts. It's about communicating an extremely important message in an easily accessible and digestible format. Really enjoyable read. You get invested in the characters and their different paths, and it really reaffirms your faith. Biblical teachings, which can sometimes come across as stuffy or outdated, are cogently explained in a modern setting and context. As part of creating this ad, I've chatted a lot with the author. He's a fascinating guy and he's a big fan of the channel. So please support me and him by getting your hands on an ebook or colour hard copy of 10 Questions for James by clicking the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Sinks are the new incel. There's never been more 30-plus-year-old single-income, no-kid women than there are right now. And by 2030, over 50% of all women over 30 will be childless and alone. They spent all their fertile years racking up bodies, focusing on their careers and being single just to end up depressed and full of regret. Some of them, though, are more honest and have realised that the girl boss career woman is a fast track to misery. Most are still in woeful denial, like Chelsea Handler, Queen of the Sinks.
Marriage. It's not that great. This is a day in the life of a childless woman. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, so I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12:30 p.m. and get ready for a busy day of doing whatever the I feel like. I put on my most impractical and stylish shoes since I won't be chasing a child around the grocery store. I go to my fave spot in Paris to grab a croissant. I do a meditation sesh on the plane since I have no screaming kids, allowing me all the time in the world to become enlightened.
Yeah, Chelsea's so meditative, calm and happy. Her perma-single, self-indulgent, carefree, stress-free life is so free of stress that she literally gave herself heart disease as a result of stress.
I do a meditation sesh on the plane.
And I'm not being mean, that's terrible, but she's constantly pushing the wonders of this hedonistic, libertine sink lifestyle. Retrograde, debauched, uber promiscuity.
Oh, hi there, it's me, Chelsea. You caught me in a state of undress. That's better. I'm here to talk about the importance of one-night stands, the building blocks to a better you.
But the relentless clamour for attention seems to be hiding some kind of cavernous hole in her life.
You know why I'm happy? Because today I woke up at 11 a.m. and I could just have a cappuccino and take it slow. Do you know why? Because I don't have kids. Okay, well, you also have a complete vacuum of a life and you have AIDS.
The culture celebrates Chelsea's vapid lifestyle as heroic and empowering, while women who aspire to be trad wives are monstered and vilified.
Lately, I've been seeing this thing pop up on social media.
We are going to talk about how you can become a traditional wife.
It's advancing a right-wing political ideology and dressing it up as a lifestyle. Though the idea of women being confined to the home while men do things like go outside and work isn't exactly new, the image of 1950s suburban domesticity has been given a new lease of life by the gals on TikTok. Some younger millennials and zoomers have decided to embrace living la vida casserole, dedicating themselves to cooking, cleaning, and child rearing while their husbands or boyfriends, I don't know, chop firewood or go to their job in human resources.
Oh no, the awful patriarchal bad old days, where living standards were high enough to maintain single-income households with solo male breadwinners, where women could actually spend time at home nurturing their own children and cooking for their husband, who actually cares about them, instead of dumping the kids at some dodgy daycare centre, while she toils away serving another man, the general manager of the faceless corporation she works for, who couldn't give a fuck about her. Great, what a fantastic improvement.
Tradwife culture presents the ideal relationship. Men are providers, gets twisted into something much more sinister. Willingly giving up financial independence.
Don't trust the man who loves you and treats you well with your financial independence. No, trust the man who owns the wage cage where you sit under harsh strip lights for 10 hours a day while being treated like a perfunctory unit of production. Brilliant upgrade.
These women are often really young, in their 20s, and they're preaching the values of submitting to a husband to an audience of other young women.
Women in their most fertile years telling other women not to waste their most fertile years? The absolute horror.
The tradwife trend doesn't exist in isolation. It's linked to deeply regressive political and social movements.
Oh, you mean Islam?
Such as Christian and white nationalism and anti-feminism.
Guess not.
Like with the example of finances, the idea of submission is that by giving up her independence, autonomy, and power, a woman will be taken care of by a good and godly man. She serves him, he serves Christ, but only one person is scrubbing out the toilet.
Really, and who's taking out the trash? Who's dealing with the bug infestations? Who's taking care of home security? It's not like men are sat on their arses at home doing nothing, is it? It's important to note that the women who say they don't want kids and never will have kids remains at a constant of around 5% the world over. That hasn't changed. What's changed is within the group of women who said they did want 1 or 2 kids at some point, but they keep putting it off to the point where they get into their late 30s and early 40s, by which time it's too late.
No eggs. Empty egg carton. You don't have any eggs.
Social media dating app fueled hookup culture and hyper promiscuity is also obliterating the right conditions to form strong relationships.
Have you ever regretted having sex with a man? Yeah. All of them.
Women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. Now young women are putting out like the world's going to end tomorrow. What incentive is there for young men to commit to relationships? The media also constantly pushes this false narrative that having kids is going to completely bankrupt you.
You sound like a fucking moron. It's economically impossible. Go outside. There's 50 black people with 5 kids each. Get to work. Stop thinking of imaginary excuses.
With a majority of British women remaining childless as they hit 30 for the first time ever. Even the supposedly conservative Daily Mail is pushing the child-free women are happier line. A lot of women also see those obnoxiously cringe "come to work with me" TikToks posted by Silicon Valley wages.
So I got to the office, picked up my usual breakfast. There was a long line for coffee, so I had to get some nitro cold brew.
And think that a career job involves leisurely free avocado and quinoa lunches.
Literally this entire array of like beers, seltzers, anything we wanted.
Soft play safe space support rooms and a few casual meetings a day.
And I took a mini break, played some ping pong with James, went back out to see there was more festivities.
Utter crap. Building a career is a multi-decade slog and it leaves you very little time for anything else. They were told you can have it all. And now they're left with nothing. They were told a woman should be empowered to do whatever she wants.
I just want to stay home, cook, clean, and raise my children.
No, not like that. Get early access to videos, exclusive live streams, and personally DM me. You've seen how much I get demonetized all the time. Well, this is how you support me. By subscribing at pauljosephwatson.locals.com. Please click the link in the description.